think that people think when they're manifesting with the universe that they're manifesting with the energy of the universe, which is absolutely true. That's an energy field that is guiding us in many ways. But really behind the scenes, it's our guides that are like the cheerleaders, coaches, right? That are really opening those invisible doors, putting us in the elevator with our future boss, or telling us to go onto Bumble at that hour to find our boyfriend. Am I right?
Gabby Bernstein, a role model for spiritual seekers.
All right, my friends, welcome back to the show. I'm here with one of my dearest friends in the world, my friend, my media mentor, my sister, my travel companion. You've heard her before on the show. One of our most popular episodes, might be the most popular episode. We're back with Miss MaryAnn DiMarco, the medium mentor.
Hey, thanks for having me.
So let's get started here. We're going to dive right in. Anyone who pressed play on this episode is ready to consider what it might be like to manifest with their spirit guides. So first things first, what is a spirit guide in your language? Because there's new people coming in, people coming back, but they're like still a little confused. What does it mean to have a spirit guide, and how do they support us, and what does it mean?
We should first know that we all have spirit guides. Every single one of us. Nobody is excluded. And the way I describe my spirit guides are this beautiful universal team on the other side who are here to not only guide us, but to help us access our higher selves so that we can understand how to process our guidance, so that we can understand how to answer from self, from our knowing within that guidance. And so they're really our besties on the other side. I'm always like, these are my peeps. These are the ones that I'm loving the most. And they always have you. They always have your back. And they're here for you. And you can access communication with them anytime you want.
Now, so we all have our spirit guides. Do we rely, the more we communicate with those guides, the greater the communication will be? And it's kind of like any conversation. Like you and I get closer because we talk weekly, right? Or sometimes daily. So the more you connect to that spiritual mentor, that spiritual guide in the universe, that energetic presence, the stronger the communication will become. Now, what are some of the ways that we can make that connection and communication with our guides?
First, you want to lean into trust. You want to, before you communicate with your guides, you want to trust that they are there for you. Sometimes that's a blind faith. You have to just go in with the belief system that they are there for you. If you start to question it, you're going to put doubt into your mind, and then that worldly mind is going to start to play on repeat. So if we could just surrender to trust and just acceptance that they are there for you, it's a great way to start. Another thing that we can do is lean into gratitude every day. What are you grateful for? This starts a conversation. Waking up every morning, I take a deep breath and I find gratitude, very specific gratitude, not general gratitude. If I am grateful for the breath in my lungs, I am grateful for the fact, I said this the other morning, my feet touched the ground and I was able to rise up that day, right? I was just grateful for that. I was grateful for this wonderful cup of coffee. This is starting this conversation. You are cueing them to start up a conversation with you. Then you're going to want to lean into all of your senses in order to receive information from them back.
Back up 1 second. Why is gratitude a cue to start a conversation with your guides? And how is it?
It's a cue to start a conversation with your guides because it puts us in the right vibration and mindset in order to receive the most positive guidance that can be. There's a trust that goes on in that you are being guided. Not only are you being guided, but you're finding the gratitude in that guidance. So you're just accepting the fact that it's happening. So as you express gratitude, you're thinking, oh, I'm seeing what you guys are doing. I'm seeing this relationship that we're having and I'm saying yes to it. And here's what I'm acknowledging is going on in my life. That's so wonderful. Even in trying times, you can do that. Even in difficult times, you can do that.
All right. So to ground that more, because I'm always going to keep bringing it down to the ground, the more that we lean in that energy of gratitude, the more we are a resonant vibration with those I like to call them entities, spiritual friends. And a spirit guide is an angel. It could be a deceased family member, right? Like, tell me who these guides are.
The guides can, first to your point, yes, it's a wonderful grounding way to get in touch with your guides because it sets the vibration for receiving the information. Absolutely. Gratitude is a wonderful vibration raiser, right? Just raises us up, puts us into a beautiful frequency space. Once we've done that, yeah, we can understand who they are. They can be many symbolic figures, many different symbolic figures. I've seen all kinds. I've seen Egyptians. I've seen Grecians. I've seen indigenous people. I've seen my loved ones. Yes. Loved ones, more reassurance than guidance. I am here for you.
That's a good differentiation.
Yeah, a little different. They come in, guides come in a little bit more directive. Your loved ones with reassurance. I am here for you. I have never left you. We can continue our relationship. Guides a little bit more, you can do this, and here's how. I'm going to send you the signs. I'm going to send you the symbols. Show me what you want. We're working out this conversation. We're understanding life path a little bit deeper with our guides. Our loved ones there to back it up.
Guiding you.
Absolutely. Yes, they are guiding you. They are showing you the breadcrumbs. It is your job to pick up those breadcrumbs and say yes. Many people think that that's not the case. That's just going to come.
You know, it's interesting. I think that people think when they're manifesting with the universe, that they're manifesting with the energy of the universe, which is absolutely true. That's an energy field that is guiding us in many ways. But really behind the scenes, it's our guides that are like the cheerleaders, coaches, right? That are really opening those invisible doors, putting us in the elevator with our future boss, or, you know, telling us to go onto Bumble at that hour to find our boyfriend. Am I right? Am I right about that?
Yes, you're absolutely right about it. And the key to that is that you chose to get on the elevator that day.
Right.
That's the key. The key is that they are showing you your storyline already lives within us. We have access to that inner knowing, to our inner healing, to our inner guidance, to the choices that we can make. It lies within us. So our guides are saying, you have this information. We're going to help you access it by giving you guidance and signs and symbols. And then you have to act on that. You know, free will is a big deal in manifestation. So if they're saying to you, take the earlier train today. And you say, you know, I think I'm going to take the earlier train today. You take that train and that got you to the office earlier so that you were on the elevator with your boss and able to strike up a conversation that helped you get that promotion that you were manifesting. Yeah. That's the nudge. That's the breadcrumbs.
Yeah. Yeah. I think I have so many moments in my life where I can just say, oh my God, I was totally meant to be there. That was not even a question. And so, all right. So we have these guides. They're kind of like these sideline cheerleaders and coaches opening these doors for us. The more in tune we are with the energy of gratitude, which is the energy of the universe, the energy of love, the energy of love, the more we're in alignment with that spiritual energy, the easier it will be for us to hear our guides. That's the key there. And when you said earlier that your guides are saying to you, go get on that train earlier, in what ways would one hear that guidance?
I'm glad that you said hear, because hearing is one way. Feeling is another. Your inner knowing is another. We want to know the clairs, your clairvoyancy, your clairaudience, your claircognizance, my favorite, that inner knowing.
Break down the clairs for me.
The clairs are going to be your clairaudience. What are you hearing? Your clairsentience. What are you feeling? Are you getting the goosies, right? Are you getting goosebumps? The hair on the back of your head, neck standing up. Are you in your knowing? Do you just know it to be true? The claircognizance. What are you seeing visually? Like a slideshow, clairvoyancy, right? You want to pay attention to all of the senses, everything when you're communicating with your guides and your loved ones on the other side, all of it.
Clairvoyant is seeing visually, like a visual. Okay, cool.
But your third eye.
Okay.
Right. You also want to pay attention to how they're sending you messages from the outside in. So who are they bringing you? So if you've been thinking about taking a wonderful course about writing in a masterclass because you've been thinking about writing a book, and then all of a sudden the wonderful Gabby Bernstein puts up something about a masterclass to write about, and you're like, oh, I was just thinking about writing that. I was just thinking about taking a class about that, right? So,
Mhm.
and then you click it, and then we have these repeatable themes, these repeatable themes. Like, what's coming in? Repetition is important.
Mhm.
Are you paying attention then to those signs that are coming? So they can use environmentally ways to get you. They're going to come in that way. So it's many different ways. You want to open yourself up to all of that, every single way that they can access you and get you to pay attention. They want to get your attention. So yes, it's what you're hearing. Yes, it's what you're hearing. It's what you're seeing. It's what you're feeling. It's what's coming at you through repetitive themes, all of that. And the more that we have a relationship with our guides, the more we work with them, the more it becomes really obvious. And then it's instinctual.
Love it. Love it. And like any conversation or relationship, the more we engage in it, the easier it is to connect to it.
Absolutely.
So thinking about it like a conversation, just share a little bit about what that means, because you started the steps of sort of thinking about gratitude, getting into the energy, and then asking, right? Like how would you open up that dialogue with your guides?
For me, it's a conversation very much like I'm having with you. That's how much I trust them. Be authentically you. It doesn't have to be a very formal practice. I have a lot of students who come to me who are like, I am now going to sit and manifest my guides. And, it becomes this very formal thing. I think that's a lot of work. So what I tell my students is just have a conversation with them like you're having with a friend, and then allow that response to come through. The energy might sound like it's coming in your own voice. You then can either write what you hear, you could just sit with it, you can express gratitude for it. But for me, it is very much a conversation. If I wanted to think about something that I was worried about, let's say for argument's sake, I often access my guides in times of worry. And so I'll say to them, how can you help me here? What is it that I'm not seeing? What can you show me in order to help me heal in this moment? And my guides, I will hear, sit and do a meditation. Why don't you write about this? Call a friend and talk about it. Right? Do some inner work.
I love that language of thank you for revealing to me what I need to know.
Absolutely.
Oh, I love that, because what's so beautiful about that is the thank you. The thank you is affirming that they're there and that they're hooking you up, right? It's reinforcing the belief, like you said first.
Yes.
At the beginning of the show.
Well, Gabby, if you called a friend and a friend was there for you in your time of need, you would thank them, right? Or if you were a friend gave you an opportunity, or a loved one gave you an opportunity to accomplish something in your life, and you took that guidance, you would thank them. This is the same thing. These are your friends. They know you the best. And expressing gratitude for them is not so much for them. They know you're grateful, but it's really to make that vibrational connection. It reassures that belief system. And not only that, when you start seeing the validation of what they can bring you, it's miraculous. So I'm always saying to my guides, now you guys are just showing off. Like, this is amazing what you could do. So my conversations extend even further, where I'm saying, come on, are you guys serious? This was amazing. Yep. You showed me exactly what I needed.
And even saying thank you in the request is like me texting you and saying, MaryAnn, thanks in advance. I know that I need some help here, and I know that you're going to help me. Like, it's the assumption and the note. Like, I know that you're one of my best friends. I can call you and be like, thank you so much. Just hook me up right now. It's getting grounded in that belief that there is support right there, right now.
Totally.
And it's not questioning, like, who's out there? Who can help me? It's like, thank you. You're here. Come help me out. Let's do it.
And you can add for the greater good of all concerned. So your intention is in there as well. So not only are you giving gratitude in advance, which I absolutely love, but you're saying for the greater good, so your ego is in check.
Right.
Right. When you're asking, when you're manifesting, especially, we want to always make sure that ego is in check. And I always add for the greater good, including yourself. Everyone who's listening, make sure that means including yourself, because sometimes when we're manifesting real hard and it's not happening, we won't express gratitude. But I always feel those are the times to express it the most, because you're being protected.
Yeah.
There's something that's coming your way that could possibly be better. So everybody who's out there, who's hardcore manifesting, who's frustrated because it's not happening, even in that moment, we say, thank you. Because something better is coming.
That's right. In that moment, we want to reinforce that things, okay, our manifestations aren't working out. All right. Thank you, guides, because it's not happening because something better is coming. It's such a different mindset. If something, we always say, from the universe has your back, obstacles are detours in the right direction. Rejection is protection. So we can see that when we say thank you, we are reinforcing the idea, the truth, that it's not working out for a reason. And that's actually great. Let's go into using our guides as a source of showing us the signs that we are indeed on the right track, because we talk a lot about signs, you and I, in my books, all of it, in your books. And what we would share typically is one of the ways that your guides can communicate to you are sending you these messages. It could be a specific sign. It could be just like you said earlier, you've been thinking about writing a book and then boom, you get the sign that Gabby Bernstein has a book course or whatever that might be. So these moments of synchronicity and literally straight up deliverance of the sign. And so when we're in that place of receiving those signs, before we even get into that practice, it is important to start to teach this from the place of knowing that if you don't get your sign, that's guidance too. So let's talk about how we use these relationships with our guides to manifest and how signs would be part of that process.
Signs are a wonderful validation. What I say about signs is ask for it. Try and make it unique. I think I've talked about asking for peacocks. I've asked for turtles. I mean, you can come up with anything that feels good to you. But my biggest thing that I teach about signs is once you ask for it, set it and forget it.
Yes.
Because when you keep asking for the sign, it means you're not trusting your guides.
Mm-hmm.
You're questioning.
You're playing games with them. You're like
playing games.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Can you just show me that turtle one more time?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I promise you it's far more fun to let it happen organically.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're happy to deliver. They're happy to deliver. And when they don't, we must accept that as well. Yep. We must accept the fact that I haven't seen the sign. And so I'm going to now continue to sit in my inner knowing. You're basically what your guides want you to do is to have this become so instinctual that you have awakened this sense within yourself that you can do this on your own, along with them always. So they want you to trust them because they're basically giving you the tools to awaken the light within you, the knowing within you, in order to hear your guidance with more clarity, instinctually.
That's beautiful. So how would you go about, it's 1:11 Eastern time, right? So that's a sign. That's literally, I just looked right up. Well, that's our guides too, right? Because wasn't like, there was a reason for me to be looking at the clock. There's no time. There's no end for this. We can talk as long as we want. No pressure. I have nothing after this except for going to get my pants hemmed. We're good. And I just stare at the clock and it's 1:11. And that's a sign. That's a sign that our guides are with us. Yep. Numbers in repeat. Mm-hmm. What are some other common signs that people might
numbers in repeat, coins, feathers, hearts. I hear hearts, butterflies. Lately, I'll tell you a really cool sign. My dog is in the room just in case you guys hear him. I recently asked for hummingbirds. And when I tell you, I have seen them all over the place, but my husband and I were sitting outside in just casual conversation. And Gabby, I mean, I'm even blown away. I do this work and I'm like, you guys are unbelievable. A hummingbird literally hovered over his head.
Yep.
It looked like something out of Mary Poppins. It was like the weirdest thing in validation for what we were discussing right in that moment. So to me, you can get very unique and creative, or you can keep it real simple. But they will also give you signs. I have a lot of people who tell me, why do I wake up at the same time every night? They're not even really understanding why they're seeing something on repeat. And what I say to them in that moment is ask.
Right. Ask.
Signs are going to come to you. And when you don't understand the sign, ask. Ask who, what, where, when, why. What is it that you need me to recognize in this moment? Many people get confused about that. And this is really important. Please interpret your signs in the most positive of ways. So I've had a lot of people say to me, MaryAnn, I see 9/11 all the time. Does that mean an emergency? Does that mean something bad is going to happen? And I'll say to them, no, it's a call to action. Your guides are not here to scare you. They are here to provide the most loving and powerful guidance. And yes, sometimes they're going to get your attention by using very specific signs in order to do that. But make sure that you always go with the most positive of interpretations for yourself.
And while they're not there to scare you, they are there to protect you. So there may be those messages of, I remember when I was, this is a big one. I remember when I was younger and my first career from 21 to 25, I ran a PR company representing nightclubs. And that nightclub industry is very dark. Also, it takes place, the daytime hours are not safe typically either. And I remember I would go in to pitch new business. That was, of course, the salesperson and running my business. And I went in one day to a bar, and I remember the guy kind of like showing me around the bar, and then the owner of the bar, and then, I was pitching him new business to do PR for him. And he cornered me kind of in this back area. And my intuition, I heard really loud, almost like an audible voice, go right, like turn right. At which point I turned right, and that was actually back out to the bar. And at that point I was like, okay, I'm good. I'll talk to you later. I left. And like, it was literally as if some energy presence just literally intervened to move me in another direction. And I think that
absolutely happens.
Yes, happens a lot.
It's completely powerful. It is, I was driving. This is one of the first times I ever heard spirit driving. I heard pull over. There's going to be an accident. I randomly pulled over. The accident happens in front of me. That type of guidance is usually quick, to the point. Don't get on that train. Make that left. Go here. And that to me is probably the strongest sense of guidance you can get. Your job is to not question it. The fact that you didn't question it and you allowed your inner knowing to marry that, to match right up with it and say, oh, I'm going to turn left and I'm out of here. It all happens at the same time. There's an amazing synchronicity that goes on at those moments. And your guides are absolutely there to provide it. That can be angelic as well. Are happy to intervene, angelic guides. And I do feel like your loved ones can be very loud in those moments as well.
But as it relates to those of you who do think you're getting messages for others, it is such a privilege for me to say that you have a book about this and that you have lived to tell what it means to channel for others with integrity and responsibility and compassion and care. So if somebody's listening, they're like, wow, I really think I might be channeling, or I've got ideas, or I'm having dreams about people. Please, before you give anybody any information, go read MaryAnn DiMarco's book, The Medium Mentor. And this book will give you the step-by-step on how to responsibly, how to amp up your manifesting power and, amp up your mediumship and your channeling ability, and also be very mindful and respectful while you do it.
Very important. Thank you for saying that, because the book is about doing it for yourself and about doing it for others. And there's a responsibility behind that. Also for yourself, there's a responsibility. You want to know how to manifest and hear these messages that are being given to you by spirit. And you want to know how to process it in the best form for yourself too.
Yes.
So give yourself, honor that practice for yourself, because it's super beneficial.
There you go. So one more time, let me recap the steps. Get into the vibration of the spirit guides in the universe through gratitude, through prayer, through breath, whatever that may be. Ask the guides of the highest truth, the guides of love, to deliver you whatever it is that you're trying to receive. Listen and receive through, this is step 3, listen and receive through journaling, through meditating, through exercising, through just dialoguing with yourself. Just let it out. Step 4 is to take action upon those messages that you receive. And step 5 is to chill out, let go, expect miracles, trust what is of the highest good for all, and stop trying to control the guides or the universe. So there we go. Those are our 5 steps to manifesting with our spirit guides. MaryAnn DiMarco, kicking butt. Woo-hoo. And for everybody listening, go grab a copy of The Medium Mentor. And for those of you who are ready to ramp up and do this challenge with me, use this guidance, use these steps, use MaryAnn's intuition, come back to this episode and let yourself get really grounded with your ability to truly Let go and allow your guides to show you where to go and what to do and how to attract what is of the highest good for all. Thank you, MaryAnn. I love you. If you like this video and you want to get more Gabby, check out the next one right over here.